Here's a fun fact. A lot of places along I-35 and west of there have scorpions at night. And it's going to give you an example of this. See that? If you light them up with a UV light, you can see them plain as day. A lot of them are out at nighttime very commonly in that area of Texas. And there he goes right there. You can see them, not so much the brightness of the UV light, but the color. They glow a very distinct yellowish color. See, the thing is, there's usually not too many of them out in the country, but if you've got new development, kind of like what we do, you got to keep up on these guys, because otherwise they'll start getting in your house and looking for food, stuff like that, like crickets and that kind of thing.
Let's break it down with a noon satellite picture. This is from the NASA Polar Orbiter. This shows how the day started. There's a few showers along the Texas Gulf Coast, just south of Houston, which is right here. There's Austin, there's San Antonio, and there's Corpus Christi. Do you see the sea breeze on here? It's going to be about right there, about 30 miles inland. Where is it now? 5-6 p.m. It is way inland. It is drilled northward quickly. So I'll draw out that sea breeze real quick in case you're not seeing it. It goes from about Junction to Waco to about Shreveport. And that's moving northward. Pretty good clip, probably about 20 miles an hour or so. So why is it moving so quickly northward? Let's take a look at the soundings, because that's kind of a key to what's happening. Tropical moisture from the surface up to 5,000 at Fort Worth, and above that, the dry air we had yesterday has kind of filled back in with some moisture. Pretty much the same situation there at Corpus Christi. Tropical moisture all the way up to about 15,000, 20,000 feet, but there's a little bit of dry air right above the surface. But really what's interesting is on the Lake Charles sounding. We don't have any soundings around Houston or Victoria because those got eliminated due to budget cuts some years back, so we got to look at Lake Charles. And it shows that there's some pretty good dry air from 5,000 up to 15,000 feet. What does that mean? Well, if we have thunderstorms develop, they start precipitating, and when the rain passes through that dry layer like that, it starts evaporating in a hurry, and you end up with a very good cold pool that crashes down to the surface. You get good downdraft, good outflow, and that will enhance any fronts or sea breezes that you have underneath. So that's helping to reinforce that sea breeze that's driving northward across Texas. Looking at our forecast for today, 30,000 feet, this kind of gives us the master solution of what's happening. Pretty good winds across East Texas, 30 knots or so up at 30,000 feet, and that's helping to enhance and organize, to a certain extent, the thunderstorm activity that we have east of I-35. Pretty much the same story for Thursday, except some of that stronger wind pushes down to the Gulf Coast, so we should see not a whole lot of change in this pattern. The flow does weaken a little bit as we get into the weekend. The stronger winds are still up in Oklahoma and Kansas, and we should see some organized development in Oklahoma and Arkansas on Saturday. Some of that could make it down to the Red River, maybe down in I-30, but the only thing I think we're going to have to worry about is just that usual scattered activity, afternoon thunderstorms along I-35 and east of there. So overall, it looks pretty good for 4th of July, just scattered showers late in the afternoon around Dallas, Austin, that kind of thing, and the usual sea breeze activity around Houston. And one thing I wanted to point out for next week, I noticed that the GFS model, it had the ridge pushing east a little bit, so we may see a little bit of a warm-up next week, maybe mid to upper 90s for high temperatures, so be prepared for that. That's the Texas forecast. Thanks for watching.
Well, we're heading to Elkhart right now. I'm out of caffeine, and we're out of Diet Dr. Pepper, and I've got a lot of programming to do tonight. I don't drink coffee. Mountain Dew is like way too much caffeine, so Diet Dr. Pepper is about right there in that sweet spot, so I'm going to pick up some of that, maybe get a little bit of dinner and see how that goes. Yeah, we got us a little bit of a storm out there to the north. Looks like this one's got it in for us. It's a tiny town. Got outdated fire equipment here, it appears. Oh, look at that, a truck full of wood chips. And here we are at the Whole Foods. Picked us up some organic Dr. Pepper here. Here we go.
organic, range-fed, fair trade Dr. Pepper.
It's gonna blow, boys. I just finished editing the video. Time to upload her and get her online. And see this wind here? This is the sea breeze that came through a couple hours ago. So we're getting some good 15-20 mile an hour gusts here.